that go?
It's a few minutes if we need the extra time to get ready. What's happening, everybody? Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good
This
morning.
is the morning show. It's like we've been doing it forever, Nicole.
Yeah. Since, when did we start doing it? 2014?
Long time ago. Yeah.
Something like that?
Well, it's one of those things where I looked at it and you were like, oh, I think we've been doing this for, I was thinking we've been doing it for like a year. And you're like, no, it's been like 3. So time flies when you're having fun.
Hi.
Oh, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the morning show, the Woodworking morning show to be specific.
Oh, we're going to...
Probably should close that door.
I was going to say, you're going to take a gamble with that door open?
I'm going to take a gamble. Today, we're going to show you just a bunch of fun stuff.
Hey, I'm Nicole. He's Marc.
They know this by now.
No, they don't.
Hold on. Here. Wait, I got something that'll fix this problem. Watch this.
You got some backgrounds?
Look at that.
Oh. You're Nicole
Now they know who
and
we
I'm the Wood Whisperer.
Oh, crap. We got to move those. All right, move over.
That was all right.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We're going to talk a little bit about some cool stuff that came in. I want to show off a few things. I got a giveaway.
Oh, you do have a giveaway.
Look at this.
Today.
Look at this monstrosity. What? We're going to give this away later in the show.
So my question is, why aren't you using this?
Because it's a piece of shit.
Then why are you giving it?
I'm just kidding.
No, it's not.
You guys, if you saw the review, you'll understand I've gotten into this whole reviewing miter gauges thing. I'm reviewing them. It doesn't mean I need them. I'm very happy with the Jessup miter gauge that I have. This miter gauge is particularly interesting. If you haven't seen the review, go watch it because no one's doing things the way this one is. It's just a question of, do we need that? Do you need that? You might need it.
You might need it.
And if you got it for free, you'd probably appreciate it. So that's going to be given away at the end of the show.
End of the show. Stick around.
Once again, we can only ship to US addresses. This is going to be really expensive to ship, and we're going to eat that cost.
Yep.
Oh,
Hey,
excuse me.
You know, Craig's in the chat, and he said...
Craig who?
Craig Vaughn. Your
my buddy.
Your wood BFF.
My wood buddy.
He said, just got back from the sawmill with a load of cherry, maple, and walnut.
Well, let's talk, Craig. I think I need a refill. Quick announcement. WIA Tickets, that's Woodworking in America, they are still available. The show is October 11th and 12th, and we'll put a link in there for you if you want to go.
Link in the show notes.
Yeah, if you want to go
Use
pick
the
that up.
code TWWG.
Yeah.
And save some money on those tickets too.
I didn't even try to brush my hair today.
I thought you were going to say your teeth.
No, I did brush my teeth. I didn't brush my hair. Last time I got my hair cut, the lady left the top a little bit too long. I got about a week out of it before I started to look like Cremona. So, working on it. New Wood Talk episode was just released. Everything is back in action. So woodtalkshow.com or your favorite podcast feed thingy.
Got some fun stickers that I'm going to be sending out to the Wood Talk patrons.
I love them.
So
I love them so.
If you signed up to the sticker level, you'll be getting that soon. I'm sorry it took a little while to get to some of them.
We're going into the last week of pre-order on Ava's Vanity.
Oh, yeah.
You guys want to see the little preview for that real quick?
So, sure, but I'm not ready because that means Ava's birthday is right after, and I'm just not ready for that.
Oh, yeah. Her birthday is coming up. So, real quick, this is at twwguild.com. You can pre-order this course. It's a super low price, makes you a guild member, all that fun stuff. Here's what you're in for if you decide.
Are you just going to click on that?
I was gonna, but you ruined it.
I'm going to do it right now.
Ava asked me for a vanity, and I decided to make one out of cherry with some of the features that she asked for.
Well, I kind of want the mirror to open and shut, and I like bright colors.
So we've got plenty of storage here, 2 big drawers. We've got 2 little drawers on the desktop, a couple of shelves, and then of course in here we have another shelf, some extra storage, and a lighted mirror.
Yeah.
Light it up! In this course, we'll cover a lot of woodworking techniques, including large panels, tapered legs, dowel joinery, wooden drawer slides, and dovetails everywhere. We'll also cover how to make continuous grain drawer fronts. Now, for the first time ever, we're launching a guild course for only $29. Hours of video instruction, PDF and SketchUp plans, and all the benefits of guild membership for only $29. I must be nuts. If you want to get nuts too, head over to thewoodwhispererguild.com and sign up for the pre-order. The course launches on...
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I just cut that off.
Yeah.
It's $29.
Course launches next week.
Lowest price ever.
That cat is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So here's what happens.
He just looks at you like...
It was winter. Anything that gets filmed in winter, especially that particular year, I was here alone most of the time. So when I'm here, like I'm his entertainment, and he just needs more love than I have to give in a work day.
Well, now that I'm back in the shop, maybe he slept in my lap pretty much all day yesterday.
Oh, really?
So, hey, guess what? Jeffrey Hayes says morning from Lake St. Louis. He's
Jeffrey.
He's our neighbor.
How are you our neighbor?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Hey, Jeffrey.
Don't stalk me, man. You think you just moved to Lake St. Louis just for us?
Not at all.
Probably not. I want to show you guys something. This is like a fun new segment we can do. We need a graphic and music. It's called Crap Mark Bought on Amazon this week. And it may or may not be useful to you.
It's him giving me crap about the packages that are showing up on the...
Right, but you buy porcelain bears for everyone. I buy stuff that makes us money. Big difference.
I shop on Goodwill.
Can you switch the other camera?
All right. I guess we're going to do that.
Yeah, let's do it. This is...
We should probably say, if you're live in the chat and you have questions, please feel free to drop those questions.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We have a general outline of stuff to cover, but we love interacting with the folks that are in the live chat.
So you guys might be familiar with these. These are little leg levelers. You have a little ledge here that you can put a cabinet on. So this way it sits on the outside. You can actually rig these up to be on the inside. And then as long as you have an access point to adjust this screw, you could use that to level.
So what's the point of these?
To level cabinets.
Oh, a cabinet leveler.
Yep, I use these all the time, especially on shop projects. They're fantastic. All of my cabinets have these. And in fact, the SawStop under table cabinet thing I'm working on right now
will
have
$10
these.
bucks?
Yep, $10 for a 4-pack. The reason I'm pointing these out is they're black. That is very stylish.
Is that unusual? Are they usually silver?
Yeah, they're usually just bare metal. They're not, nothing fancy. But there's a black theme going on with my cabinet that I made. In fact, I can take the camera. You guys, if you're seasick prone, you may want to be careful here. I just want to show the cabinet.
Oh, okay, great.
Hi, Nicole. How's it going? I'm going slow.
Okay.
Do you see it over there?
Yeah, I see that. Oh, it's black.
Exactly. I'm going on a theme here because SawStops are also black, and I use a lot of black melamine for various things.
Go slow.
Look,
go slow.
there's no stabilization when I do this, and that's why it looks like crap.
Why is there no stabilization?
Listen, let's not get into it right now.
All right.
Okay, so there.
Hey, look, you got a Duncan.
I do have a Duncan. All right.
I feel like
so
old cells are coming back.
We're gonna put a link here if you guys are interested in picking some of these up.
Yep.
That is something that will help us as an affiliate link, and these are great to stock up on. $10, you really can't beat it.
RJ said just ordered some from Peachtree last week.
Oh, there you go.
Peachtree has the same ones, huh?
Well, this is one of those things that about 1,000 companies probably have,
Yeah.
all coming from the same Chinese factory. Okay, I have something that is going to be significantly more than $10.
Yes.
A few bucks more than $10.
That is beautiful.
I want to show you guys what was a gift. And sometimes, look, sometimes I am the hot girl at the bar. And I do get special treatment.
Good to be king.
Sometimes it just, I don't know what I did to deserve this sort of thing. But you guys might know that I like to cook. And there was a gentleman who goes by the name, I probably should have,
Raiden.
What's his actual name though? Like, he's not a Mortal Kombat character. Last time I checked. He signed it, but he signs his name like a doctor, so what are you going to do? This is his company, Raiden, and I think I put his info here. Raiden.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Raiden's Workshop.
RaidenKnifeco.com.
So if you go to Raiden's underscore... No, don't go to the website.
I was going to say, his website needs a little work.
Don't go to the website.
Sorry. Sorry, Raiden.
Raiden's underscore Workshop, and it's RAYDENS underscore Workshop. That's on Instagram. And you can also get them at RaidenKnifeco.com. Anyway, point is, this is a badass chef's knife. Look at this thing. He made this custom for me. It's a walnut, I believe. Yeah, it's like a figured walnut, curly walnut. I don't think it's a burl so much as just incredible figure.
I'll put his Instagram in the chat for everybody.
So it's got
check out his other work.
Copper inlay in there.
Ness is here. It's an official morning show. Ness is here.
Oh, Ness is here. It's a copper inlay. There is this leather-lined saya, this is called.
Saya?
Yep. Oh. And that's just, like the sheath for it. And look at the inlay dowels in there. Let's see, he finishes the saya with true oil, and then the handle gets finished with tried and true varnish oil. So it's, all food safe. It's a high carbon steel blade with a splatter finish. And I mean, there are no words. This thing is just absolutely amazing, and I will be taking this to the house so I could use it when I cook.
Yeah.
It's an absolute beauty. His packaging is second to none. It gives you some oil, both the tried and true oil for the handle, as well as some oil for the blade, some maintenance tips. He's got a whole sheet of maintenance tips. You got this nice little towel here as well. This is one of those things where if you have to ask how much, you may not be able to afford it.
And he looks like he puts a lot of time into that.
This is top-end custom work where it's a one of a kind, and especially when he does like a splatter finish. I've seen some really cool patterns that he does. You're not going to find anything like this anywhere. This is basically, as he describes it.
Check out his Instagram. He has a lot of cool pictures of different knives.
Yeah, as he describes it, it's an 8-inch razor blade, and it truly is the sharpest thing I've ever encountered. So anyway, I thought you guys might like to see it. If you are, a kitchen fan, you like to do stuff in the kitchen, and you're looking for something, maybe a gift for somebody or a gift for yourself, you cannot beat this. Now the thing is,
treat yourself.
Yeah, treat yourself. Now we're talking to a bunch of woodworkers here.
I know.
So you may not necessarily, you may think, hey, I can go and build something like that myself. But I would recommend buying one from this guy because he knows what he's doing.
Or maybe talk him into teaching you how to make them.
I don't know. There's a lot of detail in there where even as a woodworker, I'm not a metal worker.
Right.
And I look at certain things like his inlays. I would love to see more of his process, but he does show a little bit of his process and the things that he does to make that on his Instagram account. So definitely go check him out. At the very least, guys, give him a follow because this dude knows what he's doing, and it is so fun to watch people who are at the top of their game like that.
We just got a super chat from Ian Crisp, and guess what? I said it right.
What?
Didn't I? I said it right. Ian.
Okay.
Hey, folks.
Like my brother.
No question, just a hearty hi from the representative of Ireland. P.S. I'll double the super chat if you pronounce my name correctly this time.
But you mispronounced and said representative of Ireland. Oh. I think it's the Republic.
Oh, Republican. Sorry.
The Republicans of Ireland. Well, thank you, sir, for your generous
thank you.
political contributions. Okay.
Let's see. Bobby C is in chat.
Bobby C.
Last week you mentioned carbon method you had put on your dining table.
Yes.
Can you tell me more about it? What was your finish under it, etc. Thanks. See you in Des Moines. Bobby C is going to be in Des Moines.
Oh, you're going to be in Des Moines?
Des Moines.
So it is a ceramic top coat that goes over things like a hard wax oil because the hard wax oils aren't good enough. That's in a nutshell. So I think what was on the table previously was the thing is my kitchen table gets used for so many tests. And I will try different finishes.
The kids like markers.
And the kids just bangle the table and I just keep refinishing it. But it gives me a good opportunity to test something new. I think what was on there last time was maybe Natura One Coat might have been the product. But again, classic hard wax oil, very much like Rubio or Osmo. Though Osmo tends to be a little bit different. We're not going to get into that right now. Anyway, you just put that on top. The ceramic carbon method stuff goes on top of that. It provides a lot more sheen, so it looks a little shinier. It does provide a smoother surface and a more protected surface. It does the things that a hard wax oil generally isn't going to do for you, right? So this is why I constantly, while I love Carbon Method and I love their products, the fact that the ceramic, I go on about this all the time, I feel bad. The ceramic finish putting on top of another expensive finish is just throwing more money after, what is it, good money after bad? Is that the saying? You could have just used something better in the first place that cost a lot less money. So,
but I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Oh, I wish you would.
The reason why the hard waxes are used is because they're easier to apply.
You are not wrong. They're very easy to apply. They're just pretty pricey. They don't provide a ton of protection, but you can make a stellar looking finish.
Yeah.
If finishing is one of those things that just kind of escapes you and you always get, lap marks and lines and you just can't get it right, you're absolutely right. Those finishes will solve that problem for you and get you pretty close.
That would be a finish I would like, where
it's very beginner friendly.
I don't want to think about it. I just want it to do and follow up, 6 months later with the Carbon Method.
Yep, but you know what? Wiping varnish is pretty easy too. In fact, someone made a video a long time ago called A Simple Varnish Finish.
That's right.
Because it's so simple, anybody can do it. And it provides the protection you need in just a couple of coats and for just a couple of bucks instead of a couple $100 and lots of coats.
Troy wants to know if I'm still 3D printing. I still have my 3D printers. I haven't done much with them lately.
That you could have just stopped right there. I still have my 3D printers.
I kind of...
It's like saying, I still have a treadmill. I still have it.
I moved from 3D printing to laser. So I have a Glowforge and I have a X tool. And if you go to twwstore.com, you'll see some of the stuff that I've been making for us, including like a journal and tumblers. So I've been getting into lasering quite a bit lately.
I'm just going to fondle this throughout the show, if that's okay.
No.
You sure?
We can keep that on it.
Actually, what I need to do is just get like a holster on my hip and walk around like that.
Yeah.
Like Crocodile Dundee.
Did you have more questions? Because
I got plenty of questions.
Everyone in the chat is very active today. So.
Okay, should I just do the first one then?
Yeah,
real
go
quick?
for it. This is from Patreon, right?
Yeah, so this is Joel.
This was an email Joel sent me back in August that I missed. I'm sorry, Joel. Hopefully.
He's moved on to knitting by now. So inspired by
He got so tired of waiting for the answer.
He's like, forget it, I'm out of here. He says, I'm a marimba builder, and if you want to put up that picture in case people don't know what a marimba is, I'm a marimba builder, and I use Paduk for the keys. I use the wiping varnish method that I learned from, look at the timing. The wiping varnish method I learned from you. 50-50 naphtha and armor seal. For my needs, I think a thin finish is best for the sound, so I usually do one coat. I usually blow off the keys with compressed air and then wipe them with mineral spirits or naphtha to clean them before oiling. My question, do you think it makes a difference wiping with spirits before oiling, or is blowing enough?
That's pretty cool.
So the challenge that he's referring to here is that Paduk is an oily wood, a naturally oily wood, and that tends to cause problems for oil-based finishes to cure. So if you just coat it with a little bit of oil, what might have cured perfectly fine on maple, you might come the next day, put your finger on it and go, why is this tacky? So the oil that's already in the pores, in the wood fibers, kind of prevents the oil you put on top from getting enough air and actually curing properly. It keeps it in like an uncured state. So that's real problematic. So what people do is, number one, you could just freshly sand. When you freshly sand, you tend to get rid of some of that oil, you blow off the dust, and then you can get a very, like he's doing, a thinned coat of oil is probably going to cure okay. But a lot of people like to stack the cards in their favor by wiping some kind of a solvent on the surface just after sanding, removing as much oil as possible, and then putting your finish on top. Now the thing I would do different, I still think you're on the right track, Joel, for doing that in the first place. I don't think just blowing the dust is, you're doing this, test it, right? You're only doing one coat, so maybe it'll be okay. But I think I would get in the habit of using a different type of material to get the oil off. So mineral spirits and naphtha are petroleum distillates in themselves. They take a little while to flash off. Naphtha will take less time. But what I actually like to use is something like denatured alcohol. Acetone too, but you know what I'm talking about. Acetone is a little bit more intense. You don't need to use that. I would go with something like denatured alcohol, give it a little wipe down, and then I would use my oil-based finishes at that point. But if the mineral spirits is working for you and you got a little time to wait for that mineral spirits to flash off, that's going to work just fine too. I don't necessarily think just moving forward, blowing the dust off, you might just encounter a situation where one of these keys doesn't dry. And now you got to deal with it, right? It's probably not worth taking that risk. So I would recommend using something like denatured alcohol.
Denatured alcohol. Robert Connell in the chat says, good morning, Mark and Nicole. I may be attending Woodworking America in Iowa, and I'm curious what you are looking forward to seeing and hearing at the event. So yes, we are going to be there. Mark will be doing a session on hybrid woodworking both days. So I think one is in the morning, the other one's in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I will be at the vendor area. We'll have a booth. I'm going to be making some stuff and ordering some stuff to have a little booth. And I think Matt Cremona is going to be hanging out at our booth too, right?
I wouldn't assume that. He's got things to do. He's got places to be. Yeah. He's got nothing to sell, is what he told me.
Oh, is that what he said?
I said, you need bobbleheads.
I would have sold whatever you...
But he doesn't have anything to sell.
He doesn't have t-shirts anymore?
I don't know.
Yeah. What about his little stickers?
Nicole, he said no. No means no.
Okay.
Let it be no.
I'm looking forward to meeting Wilbur Pan. Because
you haven't met Wilbur?
I've never met Wilbur. He's going to be doing.
It's not that big of a deal. He's just a normal guy.
I know he's a normal guy, but he's a nice guy. So a lot of people I think that I know through the internet, meeting them IRL for the first time.
So the thing I'm looking forward to is along the same lines. I'm looking forward to just hanging out with some of my favorite woodworkers at a woodworking show. Yeah. Over the years, those shows have suffered, and it's difficult for them to become profitable. So they've kind of disappeared, and I miss that. There's such a great sense of community when a bunch of woodworkers get together, and it feels very different than when a bunch of YouTubers get together and talk about stats and marketing and all that stuff that I really don't care about. So I'm looking forward to being in a place with a whole bunch of other woodworkers where the most important thing we talk about is woodworking, right?
What's the best finish?
No, I'm okay with that. Ask me the best finish. Don't ask me the best way to design a thumbnail. I'm not your guy.
Well, this is actually perfect timing because another Joel, not the same Joel.
Different Joel.
Is asking you about the woodworking industry.
Yeah, that's kind of relevant.
I mean, we're going to Woodworking America because we want shows like that to stay. So
Joel says, less woodworking, more of an industry question. In the last week, I've gotten notices from Woodcraft Magazine and Woodworkers Journal that they're discontinuing, and I'll be receiving a subscription digital subscription to Fine Woodworking instead. Any insights or thoughts about the closures or the current state of woodworking publications?
So wait, Woodcraft Magazine and Woodworkers Journal are discontinuing, and they're gonna. Are they all? Are both of those underneath that umbrella?
No.
Oh.
No. So I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
Maybe you know what? I lost track. So here, this is what happened. There's a sort of contraction going on here, where there's a bunch of different magazines. They're all struggling. Someone comes along and says, "We'll take them." So you get all their assets, you get whatever things you need from them, and then you say, "Let's stop dividing it into a bunch of things. Let's kind of put all of our eggs in more of that single basket." So you have now a parent company that owns most of the woodworking publications. I'm not clear, to your question, I'm not clear on whether these were. Well, Woodcraft Magazine is from the Woodcraft store.
Yeah.
I thought Woodworkers Journal, wasn't it a Rockler property?
Maybe.
I can't remember. But either way, the fact that they're giving you a Fine Woodworking subscription, that's really interesting, especially if it's not under the same umbrella.
Yeah. But it's also digital.
So I've seen this question came into the guild group as well, and the only thing surprising about this question is that anyone is surprised enough to ask this question. In 2024, a publication going away, I'm just surprised those things are still there to begin with.
So I bought Mateo a Mad magazine, and I was like, oh, this is going to be cool. I remember I used to go to the grocery store with my mom, and I'd spend all my time at the magazine section. It was $15. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
It's expensive for a magazine.
Well, like in woodworking, there's Mortise and Tenon magazine.
Right.
Right, and that is less of a magazine and more of like a coffee table book in paperback form. So there are these sort of artisanal publications in a way, right? These bespoke kind of publications, and that may be where the future of print publication goes. But at this stage, with so much information being delivered on YouTube, lots of people are going there for their information, and very few people want to actually sit down with it. Well, maybe they do, but the way the industry is changing is forcing us to go in this direction, whether we want to or not, where those publications just aren't going to be available anymore.
Yeah.
So we will probably see more of this. I don't know how many magazines are left to contract and to compress into one umbrella company, but there's just not that much going on anymore.
It's becoming very niche. So like, for instance, that Mad magazine doesn't exist anymore, but they make these compilations of the past issues. So on the front cover, it says from 1969 or 1978, and it has like, they pull out. So I think you're going to probably see more of the specialty kind of stuff coming out
for sure,
of past content that was already done.
I even did this myself. So Jason sends me a link to the Park Tools bike repair book. It's kind of like the Bible of bicycle repair. It's been updated. It's like on its 5th version. And I'm looking at the book going, why would I want this? I know I watched their videos on how to do bike repair online. Why would I want this? And then I found myself realizing I'm doing one of the things that I kind of complain about sometimes, that like there's still value in print, there's still value in books, and certainly value at these magazines where they have all these talented people writing articles. So like, but I catch myself doing it too, where I go, why would I want to spend $30 on a book when I could just go watch a video online?
Yeah.
Well, the reason is because sometimes that video doesn't have all the information.
Sometimes your internet's down.
Or more importantly, the internet is forcing us to dumb things down as much as possible. It is rewarding. This is a struggle we have here at the Wood Whisperer constantly. We are rewarded for dumbing down our content. And I mean that in the kindest, but also meanest way possible. For making it more appealing to a broader audience, we are rewarded for that. Which means everybody tends to kind of go in that direction. And if you don't, your numbers suffer. But you have to like hold true to what you want to do with your content. So it's a struggle, no matter where you're at.
And that's why we have a place like the Wood Whisperer Guild, where if you want to dive in deep into the nitty-gritty details, we have a place for you to go.
We do.
So.
We do. Okay.
All right.
You got live questions?
I do have live questions. Doug wants to know if we know if Marc Adams is coming to Woodworking in America. We do.
I haven't heard.
Is he? I would think if he would come, he might be on the list, but maybe not. So.
He might just show up like a rock star. Like Henry Cavill at a con.
It's not that far from him.
You didn't get my reference, did you?
No.
Okay. It wouldn't be the first time.
Who?
Henry Cavill. Superman.
Oh, Superman.
The Witcher.
Yeah.
The first one.
Why would he show up?
He shows up at cons wearing masks.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
No.
You should go on the internet. There's stuff there.
I don't know.
She can't keep up with pop culture, you guys.
You know.
That's my thing.
Hey, they canceled my favorite show on Netflix.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a question from Are you have a question, or should I do one?
You can go.
Okay, Les has a question. Are you able to offer any comparisons, pros, cons, of the different types of HVLP? That's where I've got those in there, so you don't need them just yet.
Okay.
HVLP guns. Not a specific product or brand. I feel like I'm at a point where I need to learn to spray and I need to get equipment. I don't know if I should get an electric, airless turbine or one that operates off of shop air. I do have a very large compressor that could certainly run a spray gun, so that's not an issue. I just don't know how these types of spray guns compare to each other. So I'm going to try to break this down pretty quickly here. And I have some images, I have links, because we're talking about a wide variety of pricing when you look at things like this. So first and foremost, go to the turbine. This is one of my favorite ways to get into the spraying game. It is a Fuji Minimite 3-stage turbine that should be enough to spray paints if you need to, certainly any clear finishes and stains. No problem whatsoever with this sucker.
I was just watching Fix This, Build That guy spray paint a shed.
Brad Rodriguez?
Captivated by it.
Yeah?
I was like, why can't Mark do that?
Well, I don't have a shed, Nicole. So this is where my spraying journey started, because I didn't have a compressor big enough. A unit like this is kind of like a vacuum cleaner in reverse. It's blowing air out of a hose, and then you have your liquid stored in the cup there. You connect that hose, and now you're blowing finish. And that's a great way to get into HVLP, because it's a self-contained unit. You don't need a big compressor. You just plug this sucker in and go, right? So for folks like me, who just had a little baby pancake compressor, that was a great way to get started. Highly recommend it. Now that particular unit, you can get that one on Amazon. They're expensive, $800. You can get cheaper ones.
They do a lot of Fuji likes to do Black Friday sales too.
Yeah, if you want to wait.
No.
Everybody does Black Friday sales.
Not everybody.
Mostly. But you can find cheaper units. Erlex always was a good budget brand. Rockler, I think they always had an Erlex like white label version that they sold. But you can find them cheaper, but the common word there is turbine. And a self-contained HVLP turbine has everything you need in that kit. Now there's another thing that's cheaper. Go to the LX20.
LX20.
So if you have a compressor, you can actually just get a gun, and this one has onboard liquid. You can get them where you have a pressure pot and your...
Fuji had this too, where they just had a gun.
That is a Fuji gun.
Oh.
So you can have a pressure pot, so you would have two lines going to the gun. One sucking up the juice, the other is your compressed air, and you got a little regulator there on the bottom. So this is something that you might be interested in, Les, because this is something you could hook directly to your compressor. You already have a big-ass compressor. This is on the menu for you, but this particular unit costs $335. This is a pretty high-end sprayer until Black Friday. So then I'm going to show you on the other side, go to the DeWalt. Now I can't vouch for this, I've never used this. This is a $74 DeWalt gravity feed HVLP gun. It's kind of the same thing as the Fuji, but I'm not going to tell you it's going to be the same quality. But I'm looking at that price going, 74 bucks. You've already got a compressor. I feel like that might be worth a gamble for $74. And then I want to show you one thing on the other extreme. Go to the Graco Airless right there. So you asked about airless. This is a different beast. An airless sprayer generally is going to be intended for paints. It is not going to atomize. So that's where where you're blowing out the liquid into really fine particles. It's atomization is what we refer to it as. Airless sprayers are just pumping out the liquid, and that's great for paints. It's great for heavier bodied finishes. Something like this might say that it can do clear finishes, but it will have a little bit of trouble on it. You can go back to the regular camera. So that particular unit is also not cheap. That's $650. I actually have one, and it is great for painting, but I wouldn't necessarily use it much for clear finishes, stains, and things like that. So you kind of have a little bit of a war here between the ones that are best at clear stains and finishes, very thin material, and the ones that are better at thicker body. Now they could both play in each other's playgrounds a little bit, but one is definitely better suited to the task than the other. So it depends on what you're doing. If you are doing paint, think about that airless sprayer. But if most of what you do is clear finishes, go more toward the classic HVLP. I think your best bet is probably with that big compressor, go ahead and save some money, get the cheaper thing. You don't need the full-on turbine. Get the, usually you'll find it's called a conversion gun a lot of times. Get one of those, and I think you'll be pretty happy. But if you're just want to try it, 74 bucks. I mean, look at the price of the other things, right? 74 bucks. That may be worth a shot.
You could check like Facebook Marketplace to see if
If you want to deal with Facebook Marketplace, because that is a cesspool of morons.
I've gotten some good deals on there.
I sold my Peloton recently, and that actually was one of the smoothest transactions I've had in years.
I feel like
on there.
Facebook Marketplace is getting a little better.
It's hit or miss, though.
Yeah.
And then you also have to go through pictures of like a woman modeling underwear.
What?
And it's like she's selling her old underwear.
What are you getting?
Well, Facebook knows I'm a guy. And I'm going to get the things that they think guys want to see.
Oh my God.
I honestly do not want her underwear.
Yeah, you just
it would look terrible on me.
You might want to keep that to yourself. That just says something about you, not
I think it says something people already know about me. Okay.
Oh my God.
So
are we done with that question?
I think so. Why are you touching my paper?
I don't know.
You got it right there.
I know.
Leave my paper alone.
I wasn't sure.
Do we have more questions? Because
I do. I got one from Spencer, and he is very excited that he has a question.
I'm excited to hear it.
Let's see. My next steps of learning are dovetails, and your hybrid bandsaw approach has gotten me intrigued. As a small hobby woodworker, anyone here got a solid starting bandsaw, 200 to 400-ish. So looking for a bandsaw recommendation.
That's a tough price point for me. I don't explore that price point in bandsaws very much.
How much was that Barbie?
Not that cheap.
Okay.
Not cheap.
Good to know.
Look at Rikon. I'm just going based off of feedback and rumblings I've heard in the community. Look at Rikon. Look at, I don't know that you're going to love this.
So Justin in the chat says, check out the Wen bandsaw 10-inch.
That's exactly what I was going to recommend. I had that bandsaw for a while.
Oh, did you?
I did sell it. I had it at the house.
So with a good blade, he gets results with it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to really meet your needs, especially if we're talking about now cutting joinery on there. It's a little bit different than just resawing and cutting curves. But I have used that for cutting trim and doing long rips on things. I was very pleasantly surprised for the price. You might even find it. Go on Amazon and look for it.
Okay. The
WEN bandsaw. I got to see what the current price is, but good performance, small footprint.
This one?
Yep.
9-inch?
Yep. That's the one I had.
Oh, but it doesn't say you bought it.
They may have changed the listing. Though I had a stand, so mine might have been a different model.
I thought you had, that's $900.
No, that's $899.
Yeah.
I think it's this one.
Oh yeah, 10-inch.
See, but that's the thing. It was years ago.
Yeah, there's the variation. Yep.
Right. So give them whatever the current one is.
Okay.
What was the price on it? 300? 400?
I don't know.
Back button.
It didn't say.
No, go up. Up there. Up. This is great video. Anyway, Nicole's going to put a link.
$149.
Nicole's going to put a link to the bandsaw. Give that a shot. I actually was pleasantly surprised at how functional and how well it held its settings and how well the guides worked. On a price point like that, you usually don't see that stuff. So that might be worth looking into. Okay, got another question here from Wayne. He says, I'm a fairly new woodworker. Unfortunately, I haven't attended many makers events to see what sells. Is there any advice on small projects that sell? I'm at a place where my hobby has to start helping fund itself. I get that. So actually, I think Nicole might be the best person to answer this.
What's the question?
Like, what can he sell at an event? Flea market.
So I'm going to recommend a couple Facebook groups that are not woodworking groups, where you're going to find really good feedback and ideas are laser groups. So there's two that I'm going to recommend. The Smoky Hill, it says Kill, but it's Smoky Hill Laser Supplies, and I'll put a link in the show notes, and the Friendliest Glowforge group on Facebook. Those two groups, if you get accepted into them and you search craft fair, tons of great posts talking about craft fairs, what sells, what brings customers to your booth, ideas for your booth, how to present your product. They're just great.
So even though this is focused on lasers, a lot of the things they're lasering are custom pieces that he would be able to build.
So like for instance, in, I think it was the Glowforge group, somebody put a picture up of custom spoons, lasered spoons. People love that stuff. And they said that was their loss leader that brought people into the booth to buy an expensive cutting board. So don't look at just one thing, look at the whole picture. And a lot of times, like for instance, at a restaurant, you have low price, medium price, very high price. And the high price there is there to kind of convince the person ordering food to maybe look at that middle tier versus the lower tier.
Right.
So it's a whole psychology that goes into selling and
marketing. Not for me. I want the expensive one. I'll take that lobster.
I want the ribs.
Give me the best, even if it's old.
So, like I said, I'll put the link, but if you just Google or go into Facebook and look up Smoky Hill Laser Supplies, which they have actually some really great. So if you get into lasering, they have great material at affordable prices. And then the Friendliest Glowforge group on Facebook.
So I'm going to make a quick recommendation. I haven't seen the video because I don't really watch many woodworking videos. I'm pretty sure David Picciuto has a video on like that exact thing. You make these products to sell at craft fairs. He's done a number of them, and I don't know if he still does them. But he is definitely a person that can give you some tips on what to build. So just go to YouTube, search for that on Make Something, or search for Picciuto and whatever other
Drunken
keywords.
Woodworker.
Yeah, well, that might take you back a while.
Who's that?
Yeah, so that is the kind of person you want to look at. And I mean, that's the only one that's come across my feed was David's, but I guarantee there's probably 10 or 15 or 30 other ones of other people saying the same thing.
People that do the craft circuit, they have a system. They have like a special way that they do their booth and engage people to come through. So
do that one.
This one?
Marc and Nicole on Amazon sound like me trying to tell my wife how to do anything. Usually ends with her saying, I know you didn't mean to talk to me like that. Nicole started this thing. I think she saw it in a video, which is how we change, monumental changes in our household take place is from a reel she saw.
Or Instagram. Or
and it's, talk to me like you love me.
Talk to me like you love me.
That has backfired so many times because she used it on the kids. And then now the kids know to say that to her. And then she
and then I go,
immediately
it checks at me. I mean, tone is important, and I forget
sometimes. I do that to you, too. I'll go, hey, why are you talking to me like this? What are we doing here?
Because I'm hungry.
I haven't eaten in 2
tired.
hours.
I'm stretched too thin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm out of questions here.
I have more.
Let's go.
We have Kevin.
Let's go live.
Kevin Hawkins in the chat room. Hi, Marc and Nicole.
Hey.
Hey. I wanted to upgrade from a rigid shop vac to a dust extractor.
As you should.
Are there good middle-of-the-road extractors, or should I wait to get a high-end one like Festool?
Well, that's a great question for the chat room because the only...
You have Festool, right?
Yeah, I have Festool. The only extractors I could name offhand would be Festool, and who's the other company? Mirka. I know Mirka makes a decent one comparable to Festool. What's the other one? Fein, I think, makes one, the orange one?
Yeah.
F-E-I-N, if that's how that's pronounced. But none of these are what I would call a middle of the road.
Which one do you have?
Do you know, this is also one of those things, I could have sworn I've seen maybe DeWalt get into the dust extractor game.
Bought this one in October 2022.
Yeah, $865. Look for a DeWalt extractor. Oh, there's a 3M extract as well, but that's $649. Again, I don't think that's middle of the road. And DeWalt just has...
What's this 3M one? Yeah, DeWalt's
well, they're not that cheap either.
No.
There is a DeWalt extractor that's $578. Here's what I'm going to say. I don't know that there is a middle ground. Maybe the chat room can tell us. And when I think middle ground, I think in that maybe like 200, 300 range. So you're not quite at the lower shop vac range, but not quite at that super high-end dust extractor range. So if there isn't a good representation in that middle, just save your money and wait, because it's a great tool to have in the shop. And you go too cheap, and then you might be wondering if the filter media is as high quality. Is it as effectively filtering the air that's coming out of the thing, which is kind of the whole point. We want to catch all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Chat room, help me out if you know it.
Somebody's asking for a dehumidifier recommendation.
Oh, hell yeah. Sorry, I'm cursy today. Going to my Amazon.
I can't find the original, but Jesus said +1 for the dehumidifier recommendation.
Okay. I wish I could pick it up and show you. It's all the way over there. I have 2 of these units, and these are fantastic. I run them quite a bit.
I should probably just go into your orders.
Yeah, go into my orders. Let me see what the brand...
I'll find it.
I'm trying to remember what the brand name is.
Well, so in Missouri, our humidity is pretty high. So those run.
Okay, you ready? I'm going to spell it for you. ALO.
RI.
RAIR.
Yeah, I found it. Oh, it's a limited deal right now too.
Limited, like it's only going to be every day this week.
It says it's normally $800.
Nope, not that one.
Not that one.
Hold on, I'm going to find it. Sorry, this is the worst.
Yeah.
I know we do that.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Oh, it's even cheaper.
So this is one of them. This may not be the exact one that I have, but it's pretty close.
I think this one might
it's
be
not that cheap.
Yeah, that's one.
It's like $400, $500. That's the one that I purchased.
This is the exact one.
But look at that other one though.
Yeah.
I don't understand. They're the same model number, but the one is like $100 cheaper.
Oh, this one's 113 pint, and this one's.
Nope, it doesn't. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, $440. Give them the link to that one. This is what I have in the shop. I've got one in this bay, one in that bay. I'm very lucky. We're in a firehouse, which means in a firehouse they probably had wet gear and hosed off things in the firehouse. So there are drains in the floor over here. On that side, I've got a drain that actually is from the air conditioner that we just kind of put a little T-junction in. So I don't have to worry about emptying anything. When they run, they just drain the entire time. They are incredibly effective. They sound like a loud fan. You do hear the fan running, and you just adjust what humidity level you want, and it just kicks on and off as needed throughout the day. Now, the interesting thing, when I run them during the summer, I went to look at my electric bill, and I was very curious what kind of impact it had on the bill. So what you'll see happen is initially my air conditioning starts to, my electric company will divide the type of power, or like the devices, it somehow knows what it is. So it recognizes the air conditioner and my cooling costs go up. Well, obviously the air conditioner is also dehumidifying as it runs. So when the humidifier is kicked in, suddenly in like July, I start to see what they labeled as heating, something that was a heating appliance. And I'm like, I'm not running any kind of heating appliance. Why is my heating bill going up? It's the dehumidifier. Something on a dehumidifier, the power company sees it as a heating element because it does produce heat as it's doing what it's doing. So I had to try to see if I could find a balance with letting the air conditioner dehumidify also along with the dehumidification units running at the same time. So anyway, that's just a word of warning that sometimes, depending on your situation, running the air conditioner might actually be the more cost-effective thing if you're running the air conditioner anyway. But this is such a big space, and we have things that we definitely do, like our sandpaper, the backside sandpaper supply. We don't want that to get moist, so I do keep a dehumidifier right in that area. And then if, when we're not here on the weekend, the AC doesn't really run very much, but those will kick on. fantastic dehumidifier. Boy, I didn't expect to go on a tangent like that, but.
We got a follow-up from Bill. His wife is doing well and walking 30 minutes a day.
Excellent.
You can even get into the shop a bit.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, Bill, so glad to hear your wife is doing
well, good
better.
for you guys, and keep it up.
Let's see. If you've asked questions above, I might not have seen it, so feel free to add it to the chat again.
We have a very limited window. Oh, someone mentions the Dust Right from Rockler is $2.99.
Oh, Travis did.
Totally forgot about Rockler. They always have good dust collection solutions, and they're usually blue.
Donnie's Woody said, "What's that brand? I've never even heard of that brand."
Karcher?
Karcher makes a vac for about $3.50.
Okay. And I think that's what people are looking for with these things, not just the dust extractant, but like the power to be able to plug a tool into it, and every time you turn a tool on, the extractor goes on, which is a nice feature.
And Rob Farms is right. Festool Recon site, but it's such a. They need to have so there's a website called Camel that I can put an Amazon link in and tell them to let me know when the price of that Amazon product goes down to a certain price. And then I'll get an email instantly. There needs to be something like that for the Festool Recon site. Like, tell me when the CT vac comes up on the Festool Recon site. Send me an email.
Camel, huh? Reminds me of another site I enjoy. Camel toe.
Oh, shut up. I have a feeling that's going to be a clip. Tim JB, hey Tim.
What's going on, Tim?
Can we still suggest show titles?
No.
Not right now.
Don't do it.
We're
No. You stop it right now. Go ahead, I don't care.
We're trying to make this
Who cares?
as simple as possible, but you can do a show title.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I want people to make
No, it was a bot that was part of the chat.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, okay. But you could still suggest show titles.
You can still,
because they're funny.
But it's not saving it anywhere.
Yeah.
Is what he's asking.
Oh, yeah, I got you. It's not being, you'd have to pour through the chat later.
Yeah. Kyle Black is already, he's already telling you what he wants from you. He wants that miter gauge.
Oh, you would like a miter gauge, Kyle, huh?
And we're getting close
Good thing
to the end of the show.
I know where there is one.
Yeah.
It's right behind me.
Yeah. So we're going to give away the Vanity course.
Oh, yeah. We'll give a free Vanity course and then the SawStop miter gauge. Mark T has a good suggestion, too. If you just have like a regular shop vac, you can use not just IVAC, but IVAC is a great brand. I've got their stuff in my shop. You can use that to control the power to the tool, right? They have little boxes where you plug in your router, let's say, or your sander, and then plug your hoochie into that, and they all turn on together. It works pretty well.
Okay. Costco tends to have some good deals on dehumidifiers. Also, they carry Mr. Cool.
Oh, do they?
That's interesting.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, the thing with the dehumidifier is I wanted to avoid the cheap house brand ones. I mean, the ones that are like, all plastic meant to go in a small room in a home. For this space, this is a pretty huge space. We have a lot of volume of air. Ceilings are like 16 feet high.
Yeah.
We also have, a lot of air infiltration that we can't really control. So with all of that in mind, I needed like a more industrial one. So that's why it may be beyond what you guys need, but those units are pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Mike in the chat says there might be some confusion between a dust extractor and a dust collection system. Can you explain the difference?
Why are you going to make me work, Mike? I'm not sure anybody was confused about that.
I think Mike might be confused.
Mike, are you confused? Are you asking for a friend? So dust extractors and dust collectors, they are definitely...
The collector is that big giant
It's
thing.
a bigger unit, yeah. So when you refer to a dust collector, we're usually talking about things that have big 4-inch ports and 4-inch hoses to connect to your bigger, large chip producing tools. That's your dust collector. You'll find those in the form of like a double bag unit that rolls around. You can find them in the form of like a cyclone like I have here. That's your classic dust collector.
Are you going to give that one away? That you have that's rolling around?
Well, no, because when my dust collector, when the cyclone was down, that was my backup, and I was able to keep working.
Yeah.
So, and also when I get a CNC, I'll probably use it on that.
I got a question here from Nate D about CNC.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway,
okay, let me finish though.
Finish.
Dust extractor, basically, it's a fancy shop vac. It's meant to pull a pull a lot of fine particles from smaller things like your router, your sander, smaller tool dust collection. It may look like a shop vac, but it tends to work a little differently than a shop vac. And again, it usually has that onboard power outlet, so you can control the on-off that way. And typically your dust extractors have better filtration, better filter units that you could put in there, just a higher quality filtration for those really dangerous dust particles. But you can get there with a shop vac.
Right.
It's going to be louder, it's probably going to be clunkier, but with a good filter, both the little cylindrical filter and then the bag in a shop vac, and then all the right attachments to get it connected to your tool, that can work too. You don't have to go to that dust extractor level right away.
Nate D says, I might have missed this, but do you have any CNC updates for your shop? I got a one Infinity CNC, and it seems like a good small version.
Yeah, I haven't really gone any further with the CNC. Budget is a little bit tight right now, and the problem is, while I do have the resources to probably get a CNC in the shop by asking for one, they want me to do stuff. So turns out people aren't just going to give you tools for nothing, for no reason.
Yeah.
And I don't want to promise CNC content. I want a CNC because I want to have a fun thing to play with, incorporate into my work when I feel it's appropriate. I don't want to be forced to use a CNC for the sake of making videos to make a company happy. In fact, I had one conversation with a particular major manufacturer who essentially wanted me on like a 2-year retainer making content for them. And I said, I'm out. I'll wait till I have enough money to buy it myself so I could talk about how great CNC is and in the same breath talk about how much it annoys me.
Yeah.
Because I suck at it.
Well, it's funny because my evolution from 3D printing to then laser, I feel like once you do get a CNC, I might really get into CNC.
Yeah, you could.
Because it's like an evolution.
Well, it's all using vector files and understanding. Typically what it involves, though, that's the stumbling block for a lot of people, is the software. So whatever you're using for software may not cross over, but the concepts are very similar.
Yeah, because I learned how to take a JPEG and turn it into a vector using Inkscape. Like, I've been doing all kinds of fun.
Well, now you start learning VCarve and then we'll talk.
Is that the software that you...
Because I would love to be like, hey, Nicole, can you go make this thing for me?
I think
like,
it's fun.
John used to do that.
Oh, I love that.
John was good with CNC, and he used VCarve all the time for us.
Do we own VCarve?
I do. I have a license for it.
Let me set it up on my computer, and I'll play with it.
Okay. But we need a CNC.
I know, we do.
What are we going to do with it? We make the best vector files, you guys. You should come look at our vector files. They're so beautiful.
Oh,
look at this
God.
tool cutting path and my feeds and speeds.
Yeah.
Can't do anything with it, but they're awesome.
They're awesome.
All right, what else we got?
Be
got
glad
a few minutes
says,
for the giveaway.
I use my CNC for a very specific purchase. Batch out products into purpose. Into its rough shape so I can do the finished work. I don't use it for personal projects though, really.
I think the cool thing with CNC that is maybe, I mean, I don't watch a lot of videos, so I'm a little out of touch with what everyone is doing, but at least a few years ago, very few people were using the CNC in the fine woodworking sense. They would use it for templates, they would use it for things that were made from sheet goods, but you wouldn't find a lot of people doing the things that like Daryl Peart does, where he's making a really nice, fine piece of furniture, and he'll do just what, I can't remember the person's name, but what they just described, to kind of rough a piece out, but then he puts the hand touch into everything. We're talking about solid wood furniture parts here. That is a really super cool way to take the new and blend it with the old to give you that pride of handcrafted work, but essentially farm out. It's no different than saying, I've got an assistant, hey, here's a template, can you go batch out 10 of these legs for me? I don't know why you would need 10, that's a weird number. But 12. You need 12 of these legs for me, and then bring it back so I could do the finessing on these things. It's really no different than that. So I like exploring that a little bit. All right, what else we got before we go? We're going to do a giveaway.
Well, here's the thing. You need to do the word so that people can. We'll pick 2 winners. The first winner will get the SawStop.
So
miter gauge.
So what we're going to do? Let me pick this sucker up. We're going to give away this guy. This is the SawStop Revolution miter gauge.
We're going to ship it to you under our dime.
Yeah, we'll ship it. Got to be in the U.S. The key word to be in the running for this is not as good as Jessam.
Stop.
Come on, I'm having fun here, Nicole.
Yeah, you got to be in the chat to say the words.
You're lucky I didn't make it not as good as Jessam, but still pretty good. So, not as good as Jessam.
All right.
I don't care if you spelled Jessam correctly or not. But this really is, it really is a good, solid miter gauge. Go watch that review because the adjustment mechanism on I can't remember how far it went. It's at least a single degree, if not more fine than that. The way you rotate that knob and it's just click, 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 click to sneak up on an angle adjustment is insane. Like nothing else works this way. Incra has some things that get close, but nobody does it like this. I actually do think this is a revolution. Mm-hmm. Now, the question is...
Which one is the video?
I don't know. Miter gauge? The new king of miter gauges?
With your little crowd.
With an idiotic thumbnail?
Oh my God.
So no one's really doing this, and it is different. And I always applaud ingenuity regardless of the source. I think it's really cool when people push the limits. Does everybody need this? No. Do I need this? No. But is it cool? And does someone need this? Mm-hmm. Maybe. I don't know. But this pushes...
Do you need this?
You might need this. This pushes the envelope.
Do you have to have a SawStop to use it?
No.
Oh.
It's a universal miter gauge that will work with any typical saw.
See, when I saw that, I was like... Nope. It was going to be limited to SawStop owners, but it's not. That's cool.
Look at all these rude people saying that it's not as good as Jessam. I mean, guys, come on. They're trying. They're trying. So anyway, I actually think this is a thumbs up. The thing is, I already had a great tasting piece of pizza in front of me. Yeah. You offer me another great tasting piece of pizza. I'm keeping the one that's in front of me, right?
And the way, so I'm letting... because people are catching up. Not everybody watches this.
Yeah, we're stalling for time.
We're stalling for
time. We're stretching the taffy.
As all the noisy vehicles go by the shop. So let's see. We're getting it. We got about 300 people watching live. 306 people watching live.
On a giveaway like this, how much is that? That's hundreds of dollars. Yeah. It's a pretty good chance you're going to win this.
Good odds.
Yeah, really good odds.
All right.
I mean, our low viewership works to your advantage. Lucky you.
Surprise! And we're going to try and do these every time we do a show. Marc has a collection of stuff.
Well, I also have another collection of stuff that is going to be for the Tools Unleashed show, but it's waiting for me to film those. And then once those are done, if I don't have a need for it, or what we've been doing is like, hey, we'll put your tool in this thing and you don't have to pay for it, but you do need to send us two. Yeah. And this way I'll either give them both away, or if I like it enough to keep it, I keep one and we give the other one away. So that's kind of part of the future.
We give.
I give so much. I'm a giver, you guys.
Giver. What's that movie from?
I don't know.
Yeah.
My Life? Okay. Ready?
We got a lot. Let me go to the top.
Whoa, look at you guys. Okay, I have to not look.
Yep, let me
know when you're scrolling.
Let me finish.
I don't want to look, I don't want to cheat.
I know.
I don't want to pick Joe Lapolito just because he's a nice guy. Right? I don't want to pick Ness because she's not in the country.
She's not even here.
Oh, Ness. She probably went to bed.
She did go to bed.
It's late in Australia.
So I'm at the top.
Okay.
Hold on.
Are you going?
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Stop.
Not that one.
Go to the next one.
Not that one.
Did you go too high?
No. Maybe I did.
Yeah,
okay,
you went,
try again.
You weren't even in the zone.
I know. I need to find a better way to do this.
Find the zone.
Okay. I'm in the zone.
This is good for now. Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't see anyone saying anything about Jessam. You're not in the zone.
There. Word. Keyword. There we go.
Okay, ready?
All right.
Go.
All right. Okay.
We're such amateurs. Stop. Okay, wrestling?
Wrestling
1911. That's what I say. I say that to Mateo all the time.
Wrestling.
You boys want to wrestle? All right, so wrestling 1911. You are selected. Hopefully you're in the U.S.
You better be in the U.S. or else I won't send it to you.
How does he or she get in touch with you?
I'm going to put it in the chat, but it's Nicole, Nicole, at thewoodswhisperer.com.
Nicole at thewoodswhisperer.com. Yep. Give us your address. We'll get this out to you.
And then let's pick somebody.
For the free project?
Yeah, Nicole at thewoodswhisperer.com.
Okay, let's just pick rando. Yeah. I don't think I want to give a keyword.
No,
okay, ready?
Yep.
Swipe it. Do all your swiping.
I'm swiping.
3, 2, stop. I tricked you. Jeanine.
Jeanine Stone.
Okay, Jeanine, unfortunately you didn't win the miter gauge, but you do win a free guild course.
There you go.
Which is going to be released next week or something. Ava's
the
Vanity.
13th. So.
Yeah, Ava's Vanity. It's a great build. Guys, this thing is like, Todd sent me the rough cuts. He's got like 18 videos. 18? And I look at that and I go, when did I say all that stuff? How are there 18 videos of detailed instruction on this simple project? It's not that simple.
You know,
it's pretty darn good.
One of the cool things about the videos and courses in the guild is the chaptering. How kind of like in the YouTube video, you can have those breaks where
broken down into chapters.
Broken down into chapters.
It's meant to be a learning tool, right? Yeah. Whereas here on YouTube, we are entertainment and teaching. In the guild, it's 99% teaching with a little bit of fun stuff because, you know, we're goofy people. But ultimately, it's all set for you to have an experience that is so close to an in-person class, as close as you can get without actually being there. So that's kind of what it is.
Rasslin 1911 says, wow, thanks, I'm in the U.S.
Congratulations, Rasslin. I love that name.
Oh, whoops.
You always want
there
to
you
wrestle.
Go. Heartwood, I gave him a...
Well, you got a plug there, Heartwood.
Heartwood.
Thank you for trying to win. Okay, are we done?
I think we might be done.
I feel like I need to go cut some vegetables.
Why?
Because I have a beautiful chef's knife.
I was like...
I'm still looking. I can't stop looking at it.
It's beautiful.
Let's give them a shout out again. Instagram is Raydens, R-A-Y-D-E-N-S, Raydens_workshop. You got to see this guy making these things. These are absolutely gorgeous. And also, if you are interested in placing an order, his website isn't totally done yet. He said you can email him and inquire about orders. That's R-A-Y-D-E-N at RaydensKnifeCo.com.
And for anything that Mark talked about that has an Amazon link, I will be putting it into our store at Amazon.com/shop/The Wood Whisperer.
All right.
There's lots of stuff there.
Yep.
I have shoppable pictures and all kinds of fun stuff.
Like people can buy pictures?
No. I take a picture, and then Amazon lets you tag the stuff in the picture.
What is this black magic? All right. Well, thank you for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yes.
And we will see you next week.
Next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Toodles. Toodles, you noodles.